As you can see behind me, the fire department is participating in a structure fire rescue training. And Chief Short tells us that trainings like these are so important because of the lack of volunteers, both in Clayton and across the state. Thanks, Crystal. We're standing here at Building 31 of the High Plains Apartments, where this fire definitely did a lot of damage, not only to the apartment building, but go ahead and take a look at this car. I mean, the fire was really hot. You can see it melted the bumper, the headlight. There's that big hole right there, definitely causing a lot of damage. I mean, pretty much everything around me is destroyed. Fire officials have this yellow tape up, clearly not wanting anyone to enter the building, and we haven't heard yet from them exactly what started the fire. We do know that 3 people are in the hospital in serious condition. Now, as we find out more, we'll let you know, but for right now, with News West 9, I'm Cheyenne Cope. Since we first told you about Samuel Pinter, many people have spoken out on our Facebook page, calling him a slumlord. Now, those are their words, not ours, but we did do more digging and found out a lot more about his family, his other properties, and his past legal trouble.
Tear this whole place down and rebuild it.
According to Ector County tax records, Samuel Pinter owns the Carriage House Apartments, where a wall collapsed last month.
It's up to the property owner to maintain their property.
Pinter owns several apartments and nursing homes across the country. He was involved in a large mortgage scandal case in 2004. And the family's properties have been notorious for problems. According to the Houston Chronicle, Brazoria County health officials declared a public health emergency at the Casa del Lago apartments. The place was infested with rabid bats. The city manager described the place as a rundown, low-income complex riddled with serious sewage and structural problems. Samuel's son, Charles, is identified as the owner. The city of Houston shut down the Carter's Grove apartments in 2008 because of unsafe conditions. Samuel Pinter owned those as well and settled 240 citations for termite infestations, leaking gas, plumbing code violations, and a bad roof. We wanted to get Pinter's side of things. A Google search of his name came up with 2 numbers. One was not working, and this is what we got from the other.
I don't own that property. I don't know anything about that property. I've never been to that property.
We spoke with the apartment manager, who refused to give us Pinter's information. But a resident came forward with information. We called that number, and this is what we got.
You have reached the desk of Samuel Pinter. Please leave a message, and he will get back to you as soon as he can.
That was this morning that we left a message. Pinter never returned our calls, and as for the Carriage House Apartments, the building inspector tells us the report is not finished yet. However, they did not find any immediate danger to the residents. In the studio, Cheyenne Cope, News West 9. Midland County Sheriff Gary Painter says that all of West Texas law enforcement received word about last night's deadly shooting and are on the lookout for the suspect.
Suspect we're looking for is a Daniel Lloyd Easterling, 30 years of age.
Easterling is wanted in connection with Sunday's deadly shooting at an RV park in Midland County that took the life of 52-year-old Jimmy Conway. Sheriff Gary Painter tells us Easterling, who is still on the run, has a lot of people looking for him.
Every law enforcement agency in Region 4, which is West Texas.
We went to the RV park. Residents did not want to speak on camera, but according to them, Conway and Easterling were friendly, only living a few RVs away from each other. They also told us that the 2 men had spent the day cooking out and drinking before the fight broke out.
There was a dispute. Evidently, a lot of people gathered, and so there's several witnesses, but alcohol seems to be the root of the whole deal.
After allegedly shooting Conway twice, Easterling took off. Residents say he ran over a tractor and plowed into a fence.
He tore up a vehicle on the way out, his vehicle. We've got it impounded, conducting search on it.
While he is still at large, Sheriff Painter tells us that Easterling might be turning himself in soon.
We had a contact from an attorney here in Midland this morning that was asking what the charges were and what the bond was, and stated that he would be turning himself in, so we're still waiting on him.
And anyone who is helping Easterling run could be facing jail time as well.
We are very seriously looking at filing charges on anyone that has assisted him. We've got the name of several individuals right now.
Now, Sheriff Painter also says that Easterling is considered armed and dangerous. So if you see him, you're asked to call the Midland County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. Cheyenne Cope, News West 9. Good evening, I'm Cheyenne Cope. The devastating typhoon Cheyenne left thousands of people without homes in the Philippines. Now, there's been some progress on getting the ton of international aid coming into the affected areas out to the people who need it. And it's been a slow process, with many roads still blocked 5 days after the typhoon struck. Anna Corinne has more on the story. About 2 weeks to go before the Obama administration's November 30th deadline for repairing the problem-plagued healthcare.gov. But a close examination of the words of White House officials shows a completely functioning website isn't likely to materialize in time. Instead, the White House and other agencies are predicting the website will work for a vast majority of Americans. Meanwhile, they're admitting the repair job is uncovering even more problems. The November 30th deadline allows just 15 days for enrollees to sign up for a health plan that kicks off January 1st. In order to avoid a penalty for not having insurance, Americans must be enrolled by March 31st.